Hello, Abhishek, Aditya, and I don't know Samsung, but that's all right. Okay. Hmm. So, people, let's begin. So, today, what we are going to discuss, it is going to be some specific discussion about reading comprehension. So, just I'm going to highlight some important question marker and then the justification of answer. Okay. So whenever you look at any question, what parameter you should follow, or when you are confirming answer, then what you should do to pick the right answer. So that will be the part of discussion of the day. Okay. So, yeah. Now, so it will be what? It will be specifically justification of answer of the question. Okay. So first, first inference. Why first inference? Because in inference question, there are many concerns. So first, not cited. It's mean not directly mentioned. Fine. So the inference question does not give you direct information. And therefore, whenever you are finding the answer, do not match word. Second problem is what? Clue is missing. In many of the case, what you will find that you will not get the clue. And therefore, the right location will be a problem. And the biggest problem is direct match. In some cases, there will be direct match. It's mean copy paste of information. And because it is copy paste of information, therefore you eliminate instead of picking the answer. Why? Because you consider that it is directly mentioned, therefore it cannot be the answer. But remember, it can be the answer if other three options are not correct information. So when you are inferring, at least it should be the correct information, right? Now moving to that how to deal. So in inference question, the problem is what? You need to read whole passage. Number one. Number two, you need to spot correct location. So that may take time. And number three, you have to get the meaning. On the basis of meaning, you have to go to option. That is the third problem. Therefore, it needs patience. So, my suggestion will be that deal inference question at last. First, deal all types of questions and after that return to inference. But why I have started with it? Because this is almost 60 to 70% question will be from inference in your real exam. And therefore, I have started. Now, how would you get to know that it will be inference question? If you find imply, word imply, suggest, likely to agree, most likely, and of course, word infer. So if you find these question stems, it's mean it is inference. Then what is meaning of inference? So from the literal point of view, inference means message. Okay. But because it is message, therefore, in some cases you have to derive, in some cases you have to pick. All right. Now the questions, what will be the segregation of deriving or picking? So if conclusion or evidence is given. If directly conclusion or evidence is given, in that case, it will be deriving. So you have to derive information. Okay. If conclusion or evidence is not given, then you can believe in copy paste information. Okay. In that case also you have to read. Somehow you have to match it. Okay. Now let me show you one or two questions and then going to justify through the answers. Okay. So Chaitanya, you got little late. Just I am going to summarize Chaitanya's Pooja. What I said, I was saying about inference. So three problems that you always encounter in inference. Number one, you do not get information directly, clue directly. Second that the information is not directly cited, means you will not find the direct information. And third, in some cases you will get copy paste information. So all three are confusing and very difficult because there is no drawn line, and therefore sticking with toward particular line becomes a problem. All right, now what is marker? These are the words that are marker. Okay, so what is mean of inference? Inference means message. Okay, then when you have to copy paste, when clue is not given directly, when you have to derive, when conclusion or evidence is given. All right, now look at one example. Now look here. It can be inferred from the passage that some mechanisms that regulate internal body temperatures like sweating and panting can lead to which of the following. So here it is giving you clue, sweating and panting. It's mean when you are reading second time, then possibly you will be able to spot. But what if you are reading first time? In that case, what should be your reading technique? Remember, Chaitanya, Pooja and everybody, your inference question approach should be the secondary one. First solve other types of question and after that return to inference. Because inference requires detailed reading. Fine. Now, so what you need to do? First you need to locate sweating and panting. Alright. So in first paragraph, there is no sweating and panting. Okay, it's mean it will be either second and third. Now just skim and check that where is sweating.
Third passage, fifth line, fifth to sixth line.
All right. Now it is also panting or sweating. Okay, so but because it is sweating and panting, it is panting and sweating. So in some cases it's okay. However, let's go to check that whether it is sweating and panting. Now, as Aditya suggested, this one. All right. So it is panting and sweating, but it is sweating and panting, right? It's been now you need to. So now you spotted, but remember, if paragraph is short, in that case, read whole para, but the message should be according to this word, according to word, not exactly word. So what should be your reading technique? Now always check that what is intention of first sentence, because if it is in the middle or last, somewhere it is verification or rejection of the sentence. All right, so 2 points always carry while reading, that is called verification and rejection. So check here, it says camels rely more on simple endurance, right? It's mean sweating and panting may be part of endurance or against endurance. All right. So first sentence you got that it is endurance. Now let's move to the next line. They cannot store water, right? And therefore they endure. Now, and reliance on the entirely exceptional kidney results in a rate of water loss through blah 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 blah. As a result, because they cannot store, they have to retire, they have to rely. Therefore, camel must tolerate losses in body water of up to 30% of their body weight. And nevertheless, means, however, camels do rely on a special mechanism to keep water loss within tolerable range by sweating and panting only when their body temperature exceeds, which would kill a human. They conserve internal water. So what is meaning? What is meaning? Now, because I have read, but when I solve the question, I'll go through patiently that you should do. Okay. So just check that what message is related to it. It says, it's mean they rely to maintain water loss when they find temperature is very high. All right. It's mean somehow it is maintenance. Remember. So the maintenance will be your keyword. So the option that is related to maintenance will be the answer. Okay. Option that is related to maintenance will be the answer. Just go through. I'll not go with the elimination because I have to, I mean, I want you to take other questions. Just I'll confirm with the right answer. Okay. Just you have a look. A, B, C, D, E. All right. So B is the answer. Okay. Now B is the answer. Now cross check and just see if your answer is wrong. That where did you make mistake in spite of giving all clue? All right. So your question was, can lead to which of the following? Sweat mechanism can lead to which of the following? So it is maintenance. It's been control of water loss, right? Lead to maintain means preserve water loss, right? But water loss means internal water loss, right? And look, got, did you see? Now counter question if you have, any confusion if you have. Okay. Counter question and confusion. That why? Because I don't want you to teach elimination technique, but simple thought process that you have to correct for inference. Simple thought process. So let me remind what all I have said, because I'll show you one more question of inference. Okay. So what I said in inference question, do believe in the word, but check that related information. So when it is sweating and panting, it was camel rely on a special mechanism that is sweating, panting. So what they do, they maintain water loss, right? So can lead to which of the following? Saving water, right? So saving water, that is called saving internal water or outside water? Internal water. So the internal water is called itself a liquid, right? Fluid. Now, water, water. Now, it's called water loss. Here you have to water preserved. Got it? And this is called only preservation. Now, so Abhishek, Aditya, Chaitanya, Pooja, do you want me to re-explain? Do you want me to re-explain the pattern or any confusion that you have? Or you want me to simplify? All right. So, now let me brief it, okay? Quickly, let me brief it. So what I said, in inference question, you have not to copy paste. Fine. In some cases, there will be copy paste information. So what is inference? Derive message. It's when you have to pick information. So your question says this mechanism can lead to which of the following? It's mean what will be the ultimate result of mechanism? That is information. Now I need a piece of information to know what mechanism it is talking about. Right, dear? So here sweating and panting mechanism is what? It is camel rely, right? And they follow this pattern when the temperature is very high to conserve internal water, right? To conserve internal water. And what is internal water? Internal water is fluid. Let's consider it is only internal water. So through these sentences, what is meaning? Meaning is camel, camel utilize this mechanism to what? Store inside water, right? It's mean they maintain water, and maintenance of water means what? They do not allow their bodies to release water. Till now, fine, Chaitanya, whatever I said, and the information that I have related to this para is okay, or still you have confusion, then I want to go with word to word also. You got, okay. Now, so already we have talked that it is what? It is maintain the water loss. Maintain the water loss means what? Do not allow body to release. So which option is do not allow to release water from inside? It is B, right? Fine, everybody? Now, so whenever you are doing inference question, remember, do not hurry. At the beginning, I say do not hurry. Try to find out sense of it, and even do not match word, because matching word will give you incorrect information. Remember, there are multiple ways to solve inference question. It is also inference, but it does not apply to which of the following. It's mean what? Which of the option is not inference. Okay. So I'm skipping this one. Now, the passage suggest. All right. Again, suggest. So first you read question. Let me remind that I said when you are doing reading comprehension, then inference question would be the second part of discussion. First part should be other types of question. Easy one. What are those? I'm going to give you after this question. In inference question, be very patient, keep sufficient time, do not pick the answer in a hurry. Give yourself sufficient time to understand, to derive message instead of just picking. Once you are not involved in the passage, inference question will be a problem. All right. And because passage is quite long, therefore it requires. Now, author of the passage believes which of the following? It's mean all are belief, right? All are belief part, because there is no location. It's mean you have to derive. Here because there is no line, no word, no para. It means every sentence is itself a belief. In that case, what you will do? All right. In that case, you will find the conclusion of every para and internal part. Okay. So your here reading technique. It says, now let me show you how to deal if you have to go with the whole para. Again, you require patience. It says two mode of argumentation, right? Two mode. It's mean now the whole passage will be about two contradictory discussion. About what? Women's emancipation in Western societies. Arguments in what could be called relational feminist, doctrine of equality and indifferences, or equality as distinct. So this is the one part. But do not pay attention here. Why? Because it will confuse you. And therefore here focus on what is mean of relational or equality in differences. What is mean? So now the help of example. They posit biological distinction between sexes. Got what is relational or equality in differences? That is called biological one. Okay. Got? So till now what is? It is example, therefore read and pick information. So here the first example of distinction. Now, by contrast, opposite of this distinction, second mode of argument. Did you get? So these are the two mode of argument. What is? One is biological differences. Second, the modern one, that is called every individual should be considered individual. Got? So what if you have to infer? What if you have to infer, then what will be? What author suggest that the one is equality and equality, but there is difference because of gender. Second is there should be individual character instead of whole women society. Got it? So this is the first information. Now after that read the second para again, because two modes of argument, two mode, and look here. It's mean individual and equality both existed. Now look here. Key information. Did you get it? So this is called reading one. It's mean you should know what information I have to find. So look at the second para. Did you get? So one side they are talking about equality, other side what they are talking about? Education and economic opportunities for every individual. Did you get? So That was the key. Now, what is the pitfall of the relational arguments? They undermine, right? Got. So see, while reading what I have highlighted, did you get? So overall, what it is talking about? It is talking about individualism, then feminism, equal rights. But all cases, what they want, they want rights, right? Though they have two different contexts, but they all want the same thing, right? Now look at option. The predominance of, oh, people, I have highlighted all the keywords. Now you go to option, because I'll talk about only right option, giving you clue. Now, now people, now people, look at, look at, answer is D. Okay. Now, look here. Got? Now, do you want me to explain? People, do you want me to explain? How come D? Okay, Chaitanya. So, Chaitanya, what all we have derived from the passage? That they have argument, but they want equality. However, they are unable to maintain right. So, ultimately, what it says here, the arguments relational as pitfalls, blah 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 blah. If the individualist framework could be harmonized with family oriented concerns of relation, feminist are more modern, more fruitful model for contemporary feminist political could emerge. It's mean, what if individual one highlighted, it could have better result, right? It's mean the study war not maintained well, or the system were not maintained well in both cases, right? Chaitanya, any doubt about information? People, any doubt about? All right. Now, what D says, political adversaries of feminism often misuse arguments predicted on difference between the sexes to argue an existing social system should be maintained. What does it mean? It means that they argued about participation on politics only, right? But they forgot that what if they could be maintained well? In both cases, there were advantages, right? And what we have derived, they were not explained well, otherwise they both would have given the good result. Am I right, dear Chaitanya, Pooja, Aditya, Abhishek? Got people? Now, do you want me to discuss other options too? Or is it okay we should go to next question? People, are you with me? All right. Now, so inference is the question where yes, you will struggle, and therefore I suggested to give inference sufficient time, and hence approach inference question patiently, give sufficient time. If you are unable to comprehend, if you are unable to derive message, inference will be a problem. Now I said that what should be substitute, okay, then what should be? So because other questions are quite easy, therefore deal with other questions. Why? Because they have direct logic. Okay, direct logic. If the passage is difficult, yet direct logic. If passage is easy, yet direct logic. So what question you should approach first? Specific. All specific first. Why? Because it gives hint. Hint of hint. Hint means what? Hint through line, hint through word. So you should deal with a specific question. Then, not then, but one of them. You can do these questions first, not first, second, third. It depends on your choice. Because global has no connection with specific, and specific has no connection with global. Now, global means what? Answer from first and last para. In case of specific, it is nearby given line. In case of global, it is always first and last. Tone. It means first para plus first sentence of each para. All right. Reasoning. Reasoning means either about para or line. So you have to check why. That is called reasoning question. Evidence. Evidence and inference question. Both require whole passage reading. But inference will be complicated and evidence will be directly related. So evidence means what? Cited, not cited, given, which line is the related to the first para, which line is the related to the conclusion, which line is related to the certain word. That is called evidence based. Inference means it is also evidence, but message evidence. All right. First try to solve these questions and after that approach inference one. अच्छा, तो मतलब आप ये जानना चाहते हैं कि हम पैराग्राफ को क्या क्या बोलते हैं? एम आई राइट? यही ना? मतलब हम पहले पैरा को दूसरे को, अच्छा ठीक है। वैसे फर्स्ट पैरा को इंट्रोडक्शन बोलते हैं और इंट्रोडक्शन की होता है। उसके बाद सेकेंड पैरा को मेन बॉडी बोलते हैं, मतलब रियल एग्जांपल ऑफ फर्स्ट पैरा। थर्ड पैरा को कॉन्टिन्यूएशन ऑफ बॉडी बोलते हैं। So continuation of body means not example of first para but the example of second para. कुछ केसेस में वो मेंशन कर देते हैं .1, .2, .3 रिलेटेड फर्स्ट, जैसे फर्स्टली सेकेंडली थर्डली, उस केसेस में फर्स्ट पैरा, अदरवाइज वो वो कंटिन्यूएशन ऑफ बॉडी होगा. थर्ड पैरा इज कॉल्ड सेकेंड कंटिन्यूएशन. एंड फोर्थ इधर अगर वो लास्ट है, फोर्थ है तो थर्ड कंटिन्यूएशन, अगर लास्ट है वो तो वो कंक्लूजन रहेगा आपका. ऑल राइट. Now let me summarize all, solving one or two questions directly giving the answer. So the first solve these types of questions, and after that look at, out of 16 questions, almost 8 questions will be inference. Okay, 8 plus question. So you can assume only 6 questions from these 3 areas. So try to solve. Why? Because it has direct location. For example, author primary concern. All right. So the primary concern is first para, and you can go through the last para, but mainly first para. Okay. For example, most economists in the United States captivated by the spell of free market. Consequently, nothing seems good or normal does not accord. So what is primary concern? That free market is not good strategy. So the option that says it is not good strategy will be the answer. Right? So which option is not related to not good? It's not good strategy. At least it cannot be. It cannot be. It cannot be, right? It's been from A and B. So now if you add little bit patience, you can get the answer. And answer is from A and B. Got it? Do you want me to tell that what is the answer? Chaitanya, Aman, Abhishek, Aditya, Pooja, do you want me to tell the answer? All right. Answer is A. Then why not B? Because B is effect of free market, right? That free market predicting the consequences. It's been effect. And here it is all about what? It is not good. Not good means it has not given good result. But here it may be a bad result. Did you see the difference? And therefore B. Aditya, did you get? Abhishek, Chaitanya, Pooja. So here you have, what if you read the whole passage? Yes, my dear, B. So what if you have to read whole passage? You can. But such answers are always related to first and second line. This is again inference question. It means though inference is related to certain line, so it is easy. What if you find that it is talking about behavior of large firms? So if it is somewhere large firms or small firms, in that case giving the answer will be easy. That we will do in the next one. Look here, specific one. According to the author, what is the result of Soviet Union's change in the economy policy? So socialist industry. So here you can find the effect of it. It's mean directly you can get the answer. So let me tell you the shortcut. What is the question? What is the result of change in economy policy in the 1970s, right? Look here. All right, 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 dear. And look, copy paste. Just check. What was the effect of 1970? Soviet firms have been given the power to the fixed price. So that was the 1970 effect. Got, which is the answer? Yeah, copy paste, simple copy paste.
D.
Yes, my dear. Fine, Chaitanya, Abhishek, Pooja. So, therefore, such question that is called specific question, global question, reasoning question is quite easy. Why? Because it is directly given. In inference, there are two categories. What if it is giving you, what if it is giving you clue? If it is giving you clue, then it's fine. If not giving you clue, then it's a problem. So giving you clue, then you can add a little more patience and depth meaning, then you can give the answer. But better to solve all the broader questions. Why? Because they are copy paste. Attitude toward. What is attitude toward means? Type of tone. So look here. Again, few lines will be more than sufficient. Toward most economies in the United States. Captivated. So here it is what? Simply it is critical. Why? Because captivated means what? They were fooled. So which option is saying they were fooled?
Option B.
Option? Aditya, what option you said?
So you said fooled, so B.
Okay.
B.
All right. So it says, now I'll tell the answer. People, you can drop your answer. I said they were fooled. It's been economists were fooled. So what is the tone? Very clear. Yes, Chaitanya. Yes, Aditya. Did you get it? They were fooled means they are being criticized because the economist is what? Highly educated people, right? And highly educated people are fooled means what? What a shame, right? So see, this is called critical criticism. It's mean other questions can be answered directly. Let me find out the reasoning one. Yeah. So look here. The quotation in line 39 is most probably used to. Here this is called used for what? 39 has been used for what? For certain reason. So because quoted one. This is your quoted one. What we obtain too cheap. We esteem too lightly. So what role it is playing here? It is saying that it's mean it is not valued. It is not valued. So use for what? To undermine or underrate. Which option says undermining or underrating? Even you can take context. What if you do not find the point? But the clearly it is all about the key ideas, key lines. Then you can get. Hmm. All right. Aditya, need to change. Okay. Chaitanya, what it says, it says too cheap means author is saying it is not valued, right? Okay. Chaitanya, see, show how opponents of viewpoint of the author of the passage have supported their argument. Okay. So what if you now go with the terminologies? Okay. Now the terminologies, it's mean some economists, this one, yet means counter. Some economist, yet they miss, they miss Thomas Paine's point. This one, that is called counter, and that is A. Got? Yet opposite, that is called counter. Aditya, did you get? Chaitanya? All right. So, people, now what I want you to do first today, try some questions that I said that have shortcuts, and then you try what inference question. So, my suggestion for homework will be first solve at least 10 to 20 questions of global and 10 questions global, 10 questions specific. Global means all information from intro conclusion. Specific means few lines. Few lines doesn't mean same line. You need to check context if para is short. Do these questions, check whether the way I have suggested it is working or not. Okay. So tomorrow we are not meeting. We are meeting day after tomorrow at 2 p.m. And day after tomorrow we will do again some questions of reading comprehension. We will solve passage. We will solve passage of 2022 RC. And the way I have suggested, we will do in the same. So I'll highlight that how to work on these areas, how to pick information. Okay. And then that will be Friday and Saturday. We will have grammar class. Sunday we will have figure of speech class. All right, people. Chalo. So let it be this much for today. Catch you day after tomorrow 2 p.m. Okay, dear?